Hello. Hello. you know, I gotta figure out how streamers do their transition with like their audio transitions. Cause I literally just like have the Wii U Grooves album playing in my iTunes library, and I just I do a fade out by just slowly lowering the volume slider. I really need. I'm sure if I just made a playlist in XSplit
Honestly, you
and
did
and
pretty
then just
well.
and then just like transition between the two, like it's like that would work just as well. I should probably just do that, but you
I
know,
mean, the music is really good. I don't know. You said it was like a Wii U chill jam mix or something
yeah,
like that?
it's all the way back when the Wii U came out. DJ Cutman just like recorded all of the Wii U menu music and then just did like smooth jam like remixes of them, and I have
Lo-fi.
it's so good.
It
like
really is. Oh my God. I need to use that for my stuff. Straight up.
anyway, it's actually funny too because this week I wasn't going to use the Wii U music. I found a guy on the internet who uploaded the entirety of the 3DS's system music as like
Ah,
lossless FLAC files.
no way.
yeah.
Dude, that's great.
So I was like, oh, maybe I should do that this week, but I forgot to do it. So maybe next week I'll
Well, hey guys.
oh, hello,
Oh,
Spazzy.
oh,
Hey,
hey.
are we live or something?
We are live.
Yes.
Nice.
I'm new here.
yes, our very special guest, Toxiquid. Is that how you pronounce it?
Hello. Yeah, it is Toxiquid, but usually just pe people call me by my real name, Jacob, if that's easier.
Okay, I'll
Uh,
do that.
yeah, yeah. P-
Hey,
Uh,
I'm
in
surprised how many people get it wrong, but you know what? Hey, it's a stupid word. Nobody's ever used it before.
true, you're in uncharted territories.
Right.
The King of Trash in our chat notes the
Mhm.
Wii U 3DS eShop songs are kind of bangers for no reason, and
Right?
I would say half of that is because like after the first year on the Wii U eShop they just started using like actual music from video games. They didn't
Right.
have its own little jingle. Uh, Anyone remember when they used the shop theme from Twilight Princess
Yep.
around the time
Yep.
Twilight Princess was a thing and Twilight Princess HD was a thing, and that was like 6 months of that fucking tune on loop.
You know what? Uh, I was super young when the Twilight Princess. That was like 2016, right? I was like, ooh, I was a youngin.
I think that was
So
earlier. I think that was 2015.
you know what? I'm gonna check. I'm gonna
Yeah,
check.
you should check on that.
Twilight
I'm just going off of
Princess
my time
HD.
on Zelda
Uh
Informer.
oh, not that was the original.
Or
I
maybe it was
think.
early 2016. I honestly can't
I
remember.
want to say I definitely remember it was early. Yep, March 4th, 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so yeah, as somebody who didn't really peruse the eShop all that much during that time, I was mostly just playing Pokken and Twilight Princess and fucking Mario Kart. Uh, I was satiated. My goopy goblin brain was satisfied.
I'm trying to think because oh man, for those who are not in the know on chat, I used to be on a podcast called the Zelda Informer podcast. That was a
Oh, really?
podcast for the website Zelda Informer, and which some people think is weird because I don't really talk about Zelda much on here. But yeah, I used to be on that podcast, and the I think the running gag, the running joke is that for the last like year, we would talk about Zelda Wii U rumors. But the show ended like 2 weeks before the E3. They actually showed off Breath of the Wild, so
Wow.
it's like So, like, one day we will make our reunion episode. I don't know when, because Zelda Informer doesn't exist anymore. And
Wait, what?
Zelda Informer
No.
was bought out by what was it, Zelda Dungeon, and
Oh
then
man, I really
yeah,
like Zelda Informer.
they were bought out by Zelda Dungeon, and then when I tried to approach, here's some behind the scenes drama. When I tried to approach the owner of Zelda Dungeon about doing a reunion podcast, he was like, "Who are you guys?" Even though they were like using our podcast feed, it's like I think you would notice like the few thousand subscribers on a pre-existing podcast feed you were already
Yeah,
using.
yeah.
But yeah, me and that guy, I'm sure he's a nice guy, but we don't get along. So
I mean, business is business,
yeah,
you know. Yeah.
but one day we will do a Zelda Informer reunion show and finally talk about Breath of the Wild, that brand
Yeah.
new video game.
Just let me know. I'm so down for that. I'll be there in the stream. Just
Hell yeah, just cheering us
on.
on.
No, not even doing that. I just do what I do best, and that's just shit posting in chat. Making random comments and ruining bits because that's what I do when I'm not actively streaming or whatever. I just find something remotely funny, fixate on it, and ruin it for everyone. And you know what? I feel zero remorse.
Colin, if you told me you never played a Zelda, I'd believe you. I have actually played like the entirety of the series, I think, save for like the handheld ones. I just it's also just been like I've only played them once, and when I did, I was like an actual factual child. So like there's a lot of like information like regarding, I guess, plot and whatever that has not been retained. But like, yeah, I fucking love Link to the Past.
Funnily enough, I'm really into A Link Between Worlds, but for the
That's a
life
good
of
one.
me, I couldn't get into A Link to the Past because I played Link to the Past after A Link Between Worlds. So I'm just like, oh, I'm just doing this
I
stuff I
like
did
A Link Between
that
Worlds
again.
a lot, but it did seem a little lackluster to me. I think because
You're
it
just
took so
speaking
much.
heresy. You're just
Well,
speaking
I mean,
heresy.
I'm somebody who's played Link to the Past. I mean, at least between 20 and 30 times in my life. I'll say like
Okay,
that and Super
that's
Metroid.
fair. That's fair.
So like it's pretty like I don't know like it's what you know what it feels like. It feels like the Force Awakens of Zelda games. Like
Yeah.
yeah, I mean I guess there's new stuff. But like it's hitting the same beats and
Okay.
there's a lot of nostalgia going on, but it's just not. It just didn't feel like. I think I'd rather play Minish Cap, to be honest with you, because I feel
You know
like
what?
that
That's
was
fair. I
like
really
a
like
fresh
the Minish
experience.
Cap. I really like the Minish Cap. But riddle me this. Spazzy. Uh, does A Link to the Past have Ravio? No.
No, it does
Then
not. No.
sorry, worst game.
My parents gave me a copy of Link to the Past for the Game Boy Advance for Christmas when I was like 5. So
Good gift. Good
yeah,
gift.
it is a cool gift. I didn't even ask for it. They just sometimes you have like parents who aren't in the know or gamers, but they somehow just like pull through and get you like the cool gamering thing for Christmas.
If I may, I want to read something from
Is
chat real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
Awdoodle asks, how good is wall merge though? And to that, I say it's an amazing mechanic. It's so good.
It's pretty cool. Yeah,
It's really cool. It completely recontextualizes how you do dungeons in a lot of instances. So, and, unlike some other gimmicks that I will not be getting into because I don't want to get canceled,
oh,
I feel like wall merge is really good. Like easy top tier gimmick.
Hey, so Red Jack in the chat is it might be my roommate Ryan from like I don't know about 15 years ago, who's getting on my case about not beating Twilight Princess.
You gotta get on that, man.
Damn.
You really gotta get on that.
To be fair, I totally gave up on Twilight Princess, and I tweeted this like a week or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
Because all right, kids, gather around Grandpa Spazzy, and let me tell you a story.
All right.
So when I was working at Universal, working at the Jurassic Park ride, for those that don't know, I worked there for about 10 years actually.
Wow.
We had like 5 of those were seasonal years, so they don't really count. That's just showing up every now. But 5 years like straight on. So when you work at a theme park, they bring in these the international seasonal people, which means just for like the summer, they would bring in like a whole bunch of people from like a random country that would pick up shifts, and depending on where they were from, like some of them would take it more seriously than others. Like the kids that came over from Jamaica were like, no, I'm going to save up. I'm going to go back and buy a laptop. The kids from the UK were all like, let's get wasted. So, you know, it depended on who was there. One year we had a bunch of Brazilians, and there was this girl, Maria, who is one of the most beautiful human beings I have ever seen in my life to this day.
Wow.
And like everyone like flirted with her a lot because, you know, we're disgusting men and a couple disgusting women because it's, you know, actually, but anyways, long story short, sorry, go ahead.
Did you flirt with her?
Of course I flirted with her.
Hell yeah, brother.
But so long story short, the day that all of like at the end of the summer, everybody goes back, right? So we were having a big like a house party to like you know, because it's like a going away party for everybody. And I said at that time, "Aren't you married?" I'm married now. This is the second time I'm married, Phantom. At the time, though, I wasn't always married. I didn't like come out of the womb married. I was single.
This is true.
This was like 15. Like I said, this is like 15 years ago, man. I was a young buck in my early 20s.
Damn.
So, anyways, yeah, dude, I'm old as shit. So, anyways, long story short, they were having this going away party, and I said, you know what? Fuck this, man. I'm tired. I just wanna play Twilight Princess. And so I stayed home from the party and I played Twilight Princess. And then later, people at work were like, "Yo, dude, where were you? Maria kept asking for you all night." And I'm all like, "Fuck Twilight Princess. It's the worst Zelda game." So that is why it's my least favorite Zelda game. So now you have a story.
Wow.
Phantom, I said one of the most beautiful. I didn't even say women. I said people, but I said human beings. I said she was one of the most, not the most, which is obviously my wife is the most beautiful person I've ever seen.
That's right. The most beautiful person is Paul McCartney.
Paul McCartney, that is true. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that was a little sidetrack story, but yeah, I also like took like 12 years to play through that game for whatever reason. And I like it, but that was another one because I think it has like so many beats from Ocarina of Time where you're all like, "This is nice." It's like Ocarina of Time, and then you turn into a wolf. Okay,
this is true. This is very true. That's why I couldn't get into a Twilight Princess.
I think Twilight. Sorry, go ahead. Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Like I said previously, that I played A Link Between Worlds before A Link to the Past. Ergo, I couldn't get into A Link to the Past. I played Ocarina of Time before I played Twilight Princess, so that same rule applies. So, and this is the same exact reason why I feel like I can't really get into Star Fox. It's all the same game.
That is true. It's all the same game, and then a bunch of bad games.
This is true.
I like
Adventure is kind of cool, and so is Assault.
I played and liked Twilight Princess because it was the first console Zelda I played for the Nintendo Wii.
Based.
I grew up with a PlayStation.
Heresy.
I know, right? Just like it was just like 6 years of Tony Hawk, and then like boom, Zelda. Like
Listen, Twilight.
radically
I
different.
still played a lot of Twilight Princess when it comes to my Wii launch day games. I probably played it more than I played Elebits. Ooh, Elebits. And Excite Truck. I wonder if I can remember what I bought with my Wii. It was at least those 3 games. There might have been something else.
I remember
Those
when I
excitements
had
were
Link
good.
to the Past on the Game Boy Advance, there was always like that 4 swords option, but like it would never like work because I didn't
didn't have any
I didn't
people.
have friends, yeah,
Yeah.
or a GameCube. So I was like, I don't know what the fuck this does.
Is this the Zelda Informer podcast?
It is the
Did we
Zelda
just-
Informer podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's
baby,
talk
I'm a Zelda fan.
Well, it's better. It's better than being like, Breath of the Wild is actually not very good. So I don't.
Wow, that was a spot on Shadow Link impression.
I've been talking to him enough times that I can. I'm like a mimic. I can just, if I could just call his bank and steal his information, I could.
Oh, Ben, can I have like $1 million?
Yeah. Can I just get like a $2,000 loan?
So what's on the schedule today, by the way?
What's
I'm
on the
assuming-
schedule?
Oh, yes.
Well, we haven't
Hold
even
up,
done our
hold up.
favorite segment, which is what have we played this week?
What are you playing this week? See, we need something. We need
Yeah.
we need like something like, hey, what are we doing? Playing games.
Speaking
The
of
playing game
franchise,
section. Something.
speaking of franchises, we were just previously talking about Skyward Sword HD.
Skyward Sword HD is the only.
It just clicked. It just clicked with me.
Skyward Sword HD is
Uh,
the only HD, or Skyward Sword in general is the only 3D Zelda game that I have not played in any way at all. I've probably
Same here.
played it like at a demo at a store at some point, but I've never played Skyward Sword.
I booted it up. I played a bit of it. I haven't like really sat down and played it because I've been busy working on some other things.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to play through it. The Switch version, because it seems like this will be the definitive version of Skyward Sword. Like just like not even down to the I don't have to waggle anymore kind of stuff. Like just like there are so many just like quality of life improvements and streamlining and all that it might be the best version. I never really hated Skyward Sword. I never really got the Skyward Sword hate. I always chalked it up mainly to really what you were saying, Toxiquid, where it's the idea is that like it was how many games had the ocarina formula at that point? Like 5?
Yeah.
Like
I
it's
want to say around that.
yeah, like at that point I felt like it like
There was Zelda fatigue for that formula.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think like a lot of people get all shitty and pissy about Breath of the Wild because it's so radically different from the Ocarina games. Like it's so like it has like significantly like little to no plot. It's a more focus on adventure. It's like it's this big open world. But I mean that is like the point. It is supposed to be more in line with the original NES Zelda than any of the
Right.
Ocarina ones. That's like, oh man, it's so funny how it's been almost 5 years since Breath of the Wild comes out, and like I feel like so many of
Don't
the
say that.
so many of
It's-
the arguments that I've heard against Breath of the Wild at this point feel like bad faith or just like a hard misinterpretation of the
Breath of-
game.
Breath of the Wild and Skyward Sword are kind of diametrically opposed Zelda games.
Yeah,
It's almost the complete opposite.
yeah,
of,
really.
And it's not that I didn't want to play Skyward Sword. I feel like I was busy when it came out, and I just never got around to it.
Yeah, because
It
I had
seemed like a good
friends.
opportunity, though.
I had friends when Skyward Sword came out who loved it, which made the sort of like post like it kind of sucks like backlash like weird.
Yeah.
I'm not a Sonic fan. I'm not gonna say I'm like it was spearheaded by one internet man and now everyone hates Skyward Sword. But it does feel like really weird how this game that was like, I don't know, like genuinely pretty good. Like it's got some weird nagging issues, but I don't know. I think like you could say the same. I don't think the downsides of Skyward Sword are any worse than like the negatives of like Wind Waker or Twilight Princess. Like they're very
Different.
There's
Yeah.
I think there's two things when it comes to Skyward Sword. Honestly, number one is it's kind of linear for more linear than most Zelda games. Once again, I haven't played it, but this is just from what I hear from people.
Yeah.
And the other thing is the waggle controls. Like a lot of people have a lot of issues with motion controls. So.
Don't forget 5.
I say
Yeah.
the
Which is
Ocarina
better now.
formula and not to Link to the Past formula because like the inherent mechanics they gave to movement and combat in Ocarina have like stayed.
Yeah.
Like Ocarina doesn't like 1-to-1 play like Link to the Past because of the change in engine and
Dimension.
dimension, exactly.
Yeah. Honestly, I know you guys didn't ask, but I don't think I'm going to be getting Skyward Sword.
That's
That's
right.
fine.
We didn't ask. Sorry.
That's like
I'm literally crying. I'm so hurt by that statement. But no, I don't think I'm going to be getting it for a couple of reasons. It's just, I feel like it's more of a cash grab than anything. I looked at a direct comparison between the Wii version and the one on Switch, and this might sound a bit weird, but I think the Wii version looks better because of the lower resolution. It kind of smooths over some images, if that makes sense. So you don't see like the exact poly count because the poly count is pretty high in those games. Um, and so, like, I just feel like it's personally for me a downgrade considering what they did with Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. They're not even adding any new content. It's just the same game. And the fact that they're putting a really big quality of life update behind a $25 amiibo is kind of sketchy in my opinion.
Once again, number one, I think this game has. I haven't played it, but from what I understand, everything everybody ever complained about in the game has been resolved, including you were talking about Fee or whatever. She's
Yeah.
more optional.
She shut up.
Yeah, and
She
like
shut up.
it looks like they literally resolved all of those issues that people were complaining about before.
From what I understand, all that amiibo does is just like it's just a shortcut to a feature that's already in the game. Like it's not.
It's fast travel.
Not necessarily. But I don't know. I think I mean for me I would only have to disagree because I think Skyward Sword is probably the best looking Wii game, and having like sat down and played a bit of it like on my Switch, it looks fucking great. Like that game has scaled to HD beautifully.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And honestly, I kind of like I there was a whole thing on Twitter yesterday because Digital Foundry made a video, and that means every person on the internet has to be like, "This fucking sucks. You guys suck." But I don't know. Skyward Sword is like honestly the one Zelda game I'm really 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 glad like they haven't really changed too much visually. I mean, I'm not part of the same hate wagon for Wind Waker HD because they bloomed the ever loving fuck out of it. I think that looks fine. Twilight Princess HD though looks terrible. I hate what they did to that game. That is like sacrilege to me.
Honestly, I'm kind of mixed on how they handled Twilight Princess because obviously everything is a lot clearer, and they saw that everybody hated the bloom in Wind Waker, so they got rid of the bloom, but that just showed the age a lot.
They got rid of the bloom, but they put a weird sepia tone over everything. Everything's like way more brown, and then like the textures, like the new textures they got, are just like stock images off of Google.
Yeah, not great.
It's really rough.
Yeah.
I'm gonna probably play the Switch version just because I never played the original, so this seems like a good way to do it. And I don't care if they didn't upgrade the visuals or add some new features or whatever. It seems like they've made enough changes that that justify playing this version over the other version. So
Yeah, that's fair. I can understand that. I'm just personally way too busy, and so I can't really dedicate as much time as I would love to play just a full ass Zelda game, considering like all the projects I have in the works, and I need to dedicate literally all of my time to that. So it's the curse, the
so
curse
what
of
have
making content.
so Mr. I'm too busy to do stuff. What have you been playing this week?
Oh well, the
What
thing
haven't you
is,
been too busy to play?
oh, honestly, I feel kind of bad for saying this, but all I've been playing this week is Smash. Just like in between calls and meetings and work and driving around to places that I need to go. I just been playing some quick play. I finally got somebody my main into Elite Smash after 2 or so years, and I'm very excited about that. But now I just realized I have no idea who else to play, so I'm kind of stuck because I'm not good with anyone else, honestly. And then that's really it. I haven't really been playing anything else,
Well,
unfortunately.
I am also a busy adult that has meetings and drives places. So
Mhm.
actually haven't played much this week. I only played the newest, most cutting edge games. I played some Ape Escape for the PS1. I played some Legend of Mana
Yeah.
on the Switch, but also technically for the PS1. I played
Let me.
some Mega Man X2.
All right.
So yeah, really. I don't know why they even keep making video games.
You know what?
Because
We have enough. Just stop. Just
right,
make
exactly.
the old games new again.
I can't. If I were to sit here and be like, let me play every video game ever made, I couldn't do it. So why even try? Why even keep making games? I don't see the point.
All right.
Honestly, how many more? I mean, like, what that Atari collection on Switch has like 80 games in it. There you go. That's more than enough.
Yeah. What else do you need?
Actually, is it
some
80?
people-
I think it's like something ridiculous, like
I
150. It's like it's
it's
like
a
an
very
absurdly
obtuse
high
number.
number. Yeah, it's
It's a very
150. Oh my god.
Jesus. Well, then again, there are Atari games like from what, like the 2600.
It's 2600, 5200 arcade games, and then there's like homebrew 2600 and 5200 games.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So some people are in chat are asking who does Toxie Man main? I main Piranha Plant. Funny plant go wee.
I guess there had to be somebody that made Piranha Plant. So
I feel like
Yes,
there's
this
a
is
few
true.
people who do it.
Yeah.
Is there any one character in Smash like nobody mains like Olimar? Like what is it? Like
Honestly, I haven't seen anyone touch. Shit. You know it's bad when I can't even remember their names. What is it? Hold on, I'm gonna look at this
just
match.
Dark Pit.
No, I know. I personally know somebody who mains Dark Pit.
That's funny. I was about to say I know a lot of Pit mains, but I don't know anybody that's like, no, I don't touch Pit. Just
Really?
Dark Pit.
Honestly, I don't think I've seen anyone who mains Mewtwo.
Doesn't like what's his name? One of the pro players, Waddy, play Mewtwo pretty much.
I don't follow competitive Smash.
Okay.
Oh, what about Bowser Jr.?
Yeah, nobody likes Bowser Jr., right?
Wii Fit got some sauce, so I don't suspect that nobody mains her. Corrin.
I think everybody has their fans. I personally don't know anybody that plays Dr. Mario, but I mean somebody does.
Yeah.
That's kind of the whole point of Sakurai. Like when people say, "Why doesn't Sakurai just completely redo Ganondorf?" It's because all these characters and their movesets have fans. So
Yeah. So apparently some people are saying that somebody in Panda mains Mewtwo. All right,
Yes, Waddy from Panda.
oh, Lottie's in Panda? Oh, oops. Oops. Again, I don't follow competitive Smash. Uh, uh and never mind. I guess some people do main Ryu, but I don't understand why people would main Ryu when Ken is an option. Because Ken is just better in every way.
I'm gonna say this. Not only does every character have its fans, but every alt of every character. There's somebody that like specifically is like only Pink Luigi. Like
Hell
that's
yeah,
just how it is.
Green Captain Falcon.
Falcon, yeah.
And there are some people who really like Daisy.
Okay, hold on. Daisy's better than Peach.
It's the same. It's the same character.
No, well, you know what? You know what? I like Daisy more. So ergo, she's better.
Oh no!
You're one of them.
Did we invite? He shall not be named onto the show.
My name's Jacob.
So I guess we dodged a bullet. He can be named, and the name is Jacob.
Oh,
I was looking at a Smash Ultimate mod called Championship Edition that separates some of the clones, not the clones, the echoes, to be a little bit more unique.
Yeah, I think I saw that, but
yeah. And they took away Daisy's float, but just made her kind of faster and more aggressive.
What the fuck? Why?
To differentiate her from Peach, and because there's no reason for Daisy to float. That's a Peach thing.
You know what? If Peach can do it, Daisy can do it too. Ooh, that grinds my gears. Ooh. Whatever.
Whatever. Pauline better anyways. Let's keep going.
Whoa.
Oh my god, it's still real. It's still happening. What the fuck? There's this one Twitter account that got yeeted but came back, and the gimmick is that like they're just, you know, they have this one gimmick going for them, but if you check their likes, it's always like the most
exactly who you're talking about.
Depraved exactly like Daisy art ever.
Hold on. Oh, shoot, I don't. It's like
I don't want to say it. I don't want to like attract attention to it.
No, I know exactly who you're.
You gotta find out for yourself.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
If you say the name 3 times, it'll show up.
Beetlejuice. No.
All right. So, Colin, what have you been playing?
I just said Skyward Sword HD.
Oh, well, I don't know if you played anything else because we started talking about Skyward Sword.
Yeah, Clone Hero.
You're usually playing some fucking Eurojank team shooter or some crap that I've never heard of.
Yeah.
Everything Peach can do, Daisy do better.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Pauline, Rosalina, then maybe Peach and Daisy like together. They're basic, man. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're 100% right, but like Daisy,
all for the love of you.
I just yo, there's an earthquake going on where I'm from. Are you okay?
Oh no!
Oh,
You should like get under a table or something.
He's like, no, I must listen to Good Morning Source Gaming live, no matter what.
That's what that says in the little like book that you get at the hotel when it tells you like, oh, there might be an earthquake, and like this is what you do: listen to Good Morning Source Gaming.
Okay, so you're gonna have to go to this link specifically and listen to this exact
I'm gonna say this.
Episode 67, letting
no,
off
we're not
steam.
we're not talking about them. We're talking there's like it's a completely different like Twitter account that just like it's like a video game account, but it's not like specifically about Nintendo or anything. But if you go into their likes, it's just like, what the fuck?
Shoot. I can't give any hints because their name is so basic.
Don't. Yeah.
Hey guys, how about
I want to stoke the flames. That's my.
No, you don't. It's just funny. I just wanted to bring it up.
It's hilarious. That's the way I
Anyway,
want to do it.
Let's move on from.
yeah, let's
from
move on.
Disney.
Let's move
All
on.
right.
Uh, so there a couple of things happened in the news this week.
Yeah.
I guess we'll talk about the big funny one, and then we'll talk about the big cool one. The Nickelodeon Smash clone was announced.
Ooh.
Yeah, baby.
I don't know how much we should talk about this because we can definitely get probably about 20,000 views minimum just doing top 10 list Nickelodeon Smash editions and then just get through. But yeah, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. Woo!
Yeah.
This was,
I grew up with these Nickelodeon cartoons. Like aside from like Ren and Stimpy, who I had no idea existed until like a year or two ago.
oh, you sweet summer
So-
child.
Yes. I am so innocent. I like Daisy. I'm so innocent. Whatever. That aside, it looks interesting. It's made by the guys who made Slap City, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's it's funny that you said your childhood. Nickelodeon continues to have programming that resonates with children, and I believe started in 1991 having
Yeah.
cartoons. So it's literally you say that like it's a unique experience to you.
Yeah, but if
it's
it
literally
doesn't-
everyone's childhood.
If it doesn't
Well, some people were
represent,
Disney Channel children. Like my little sister, she was a Disney Channel
Well,
child.
there's also Cartoon Network, but I'm just saying that there's like since 1991, Nickelodeon's been kind of like a staple of children's programming. So there
Right.
should be something for everyone, unless you know.
Right.
if they don't get characters from my childhood, then I don't care.
And something I have to question too is who is this for? Because like for instance, not only do they have
People
Ren and
who
Stimpy,
watch Death Battle.
like Ren and Stimpy, and not only like just Ren and Stimpy, like Powdered Toast Man and like
Yeah,
Real Monsters, and the Ninja Turtles use the 1987 design. Not
Yeah,
like
why didn't they use the Rise designs? I was talking to my friend about this. Like, here's the thing. I'm not knocking the Ninja Turtles, but they all look the exact goddamn same, except for colors. And with the
Yeah,
Rise designs,
that's the point.
that's bad design.
they're brothers.
Yeah.
I have 7 siblings. I look completely different.
Are
than
you a
every
turtle?
single one.
Are you wait,
I'm a
hang on.
turtle.
Are
And
you
also, are you a Mormon?
Are
But,
you the
No, I'm not Mormon.
are you the youngest of
Catholic?
those?
No, I'm middle.
What the fuck?
Like,
Okay.
Are you-
more so like lower on the end, but still,
Are you
middle.
the youngest of that 7?
I'm not the youngest of that 7.
Oh, because that person's. I've watched enough documentaries to know that person's gonna be like a oil tycoon or something.
Honestly, by the way that my younger siblings are looking now, honestly, that's not too far off of a statement.
It's like it's like the youngest of 14 children.
And I feel like the two oldest are always like, I'm not going to have kids because I basically had to raise all of my
Right.
younger siblings. Like I always get that vibe too. But anyways, less stereotyping people with large families and more Nickelodeon All-Star Battle Royale, Smash,
Right, Ninja
Smash,
Turtles.
Melee, whatever.
Ninja
Turtles-
Turtles, good. Should
But-
have used a better design. Just
I
saying.
think once again, I am extremely old. The designs in Rise, I kind of dislike.
That's fair.
I think Splinter in particular is kind of nightmare fuel. I do need to watch Rise. It's the one series I didn't watch. I think
It's genuinely incredible. Like the visuals alone make the show. It's stunning. Some of the best TV animation I've seen in a really long time. Straight up.
I think the 2012 series that Nickelodeon had
The
also did a
3D
good
one.
was actually pretty good as an old school turtle fan. What
Right.
before this was revealed, but it was rumored. I was thinking that what they should do is have each turtle have a design from one of the different 4 main cartoon shows. So like Mikey would be the 1987 original cartoon, and then Raph would be like the 4 Kids
movie.
2003. Well, no, because I'm only going with because there's 4 animated shows. was the
Yeah, but
4K
there's
design. Yeah, and then the 2012 would be, I don't know, Leonardo, and then Donnie would be from Rise. I thought that would be a cool way to do it. But the fact that they're using the 87 design really leads me to believe that they're trying to get like a lot of older players to be in this game, to get into this game, not just young kids. And I think they're kind of pushing it as something
like a competitive game.
Yeah, like something that might be something
They got
that people
rollback.
and it's got wave dashing and rollback, man. And I know Phantom was saying before that he doesn't like Slap City. I think Slap City plays great. I think one might even say it slaps. It's a little floaty, and some of the characters seem a little weird, but like overall, I feel like it's pretty good. And
That's fair.
Yeah, to have a team that has made a competitive platform fighter make this Nickelodeon fighter, I think is pretty interesting.
Yeah,
I think, I don't know. I'm of the weird opinion that I always feel like the difference between something like this or if anyone remembers Cartoon Network Punch Time Explosion, and like the difference between stuff like that and like Smash Brothers is I feel like there's always going to be like a massive disconnect between like the general kind of generations of like fans who like the different sort of eras of programming on all those networks, and then like the main difference being you have something like, you know, Nintendo's franchises, which they, you know, still continuously make new games and bring back the old ones and all that kind of stuff. It kind of creates like a weird disconnect between the two, because obviously like someone like me, like I don't get anything out of like the Loud House being in Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, because I don't fucking watch Nickelodeon anymore. But I also totally understand like someone born in the last 20 years not understanding who the fuck Powdered Toast Man is, because that's like some real boomer Nickelodeon shit.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
man, I love it.
But it's like my thing is that like you know, they're not going for like an ultimate level like roster of like 80 people. It's going to be like 20-25 characters at most. And so like I don't know, I feel like there's always bound to be disappointment. And I know that's like kind of not the point, because it's like, oh, well, it's about the game, but I don't know, as someone who's been making Smash content for 4 fucking years, I at this point it's kind of obvious that most people care more about the crossover aspect than the video game aspect.
Right. They want the spectacle, not like
right, but how many Geno fans have played Super Mario RPG, Colin?
I would gauge only around.
No,
10%.
but I think that's fine. I think that's like
but what I'm getting at is that the same thing can happen for an IP like Nickelodeon, and it's even more important, I would say. And Zippo brings up a good point where he's all like, Zoomers aren't buying Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff, but Boomers are still buying the stupid 80s Ninja Turtles merch. So push that.
No, but I think the difference between like with Geno is that like he is technically like a weird fringe character, because like all of the fucking Nintendo greats are already in Smash.
I mean, I understand that.
Like they're not going to cut Mario from Smash.
But here's the other thing that I think if enough older players get into this and it becomes a competitive thing, then younger players will get into this anyways, because it's what the older players are playing. It's what people are playing on stream. And then what you get, which I think is valuable for Nickelodeon, is, hey, what is Ren and Stimpy? What is this? What is that? Because now they need to sell you on Paramount Plus. Now they need to sell you on the shows that are on Netflix. All of these shows, all of these old shows are completely accessible to younger viewers if they want to watch them. So you get them into that, and then all of a sudden you have them hooked for more content.
Yeah, that's
Don't
fair.
give John K more money, please.
I'm just saying that's the way it works. I mean, you talk about that, but like Friends merch is flying off the shelf, and nobody my age even cares about Friends anymore. It's all a bunch of like teenagers that just got into it again.
Yep.
So if
that The Office, Parks and Recreation,
exactly. So if they have
Community,
a hook,
that's a big one.
If they have a hook to get younger people back into these Nickelodeon shows, and all of a sudden they're watching Rocco's Modern Life, which hasn't been announced yet, but I'm sure they're gonna have a Rocco character.
They've been really into Avatar and Korra as of late, so it would be good. I feel like that's just like a good rep to have in general, because like it bridges both gaps between the boomers and the zoomers, as it were. So,
and John K isn't getting any money from this, so yay!
Oh, badass!
Woo! Yeah.
So what was I gonna say? I don't even remember, man. All this stuff
Loud
about
House is gonna be the Fire Emblem of Nicktoons All Stars.
I have no idea what Loud House is, but good for those characters to get it.
I could tell you what it is if you want, because I've seen a few episodes.
Sure, that's what this podcast is about now. Tell us what Loud House is about. Let's do it.
The Loud House is a Nickelodeon cartoon that aired in that started airing in I want to say mid 2018. I want to say, so it's relatively new, and it follows a family of the parents as well as their 10 daughters and one son, and we follow the one son named Lincoln all around these funny escapades with his family, his school, his friends, and having to juggle all that jazz. And it's been going on for 5 seasons now, which is unprecedented for Nickelodeon cartoons, because they only usually last for around 3, 4. And they're even getting I'm pretty sure they're getting a movie on Netflix with they're Scottish for some reason now, because they're a typical American suburban family, but now they're apparently Scottish. But it's a whole thing. It's an animated Full House, as it were.
Okay. One thing I would that I think is interesting too is that I feel like there aren't very many action oriented, because I feel like when you do, you're talking about Cartoon Network or even Disney now, if they were going to do something with their Disney Channel properties that aren't, just the classic Disney animated. I feel like Nickelodeon doesn't have, it has Avatar, it has Ninja Turtles, I guess Danny Phantom, but most of these characters aren't really suited for fighting that much. I think Leo's our only sword user, unless they want to stretch it with some Avatar characters.
Honestly, really, I would be super excited to see somebody from My Life as a Teenage Robot, XJ9, Jenny.
Yeah.
What else? There's other action-oriented characters, and
there's a hard drive article that was Dan Schneider and Smash Community plot. Awful plot to attract.
Yeah, let's stop right there.
Those were good. Those were funny.
Don't give Dan Schneider more money.
They talked about Master Foot.
No good.
God. Oh, Master Foot. Yeah, no, but there are a lot. I think, I think Helga was a better choice than Arnold. Although I have a feeling that Arnold's gonna be in the game. I think it's just gonna be Reptar though, because I think it's weird if you're beating up literal babies. It's not.
Beat up Pichu. I mean, what's the difference?
But Pichu's an animal that's bred for fighting.
That's true, I guess.
And then even if you had baby Mario, then that's still a cartoony, I don't know. The thing is, the Rugrats are literal babies. They don't have superpowers or anything.
Yeah, what if they use their all grown up variations?
Well, that's awful.
It's an option. It's an option.
What if we use movie Dora the Explorer?
Well, they might. Lego. Isn't that a big theory right now? Is that the outline of the Dora character might be the movie Dora?
Which would be interesting. Aang and Korra are not only locks; they're more or less confirmed by the shadowed cover art.
Honestly, I just want to see what Cat Dog can do. I wonder how they'll work.
I want to see more about this, and it's funny because here's the question nobody's asked their devs because nobody cares about it. But I kind of care. Are there going to be items in this game because it's more competitively minded?
Oh, that's true.
There should be, because assist trophy type stuff would be awesome. Also, because
I want to use the map from Dora.
I want to use
The
Log
backpack?
from Ren
The
and Stimpy.
fucking backpack from Dora. Oh my god.
It would be really cool to like. This is a really good thing to have items for. I think would be pretty great. Yeah. So Angry Beavers is one. Like Cat Dog is pretty much also confirmed by that outline. I think. What are the big ones that haven't?
This
been
really
confirmed?
is like same shit, different day, isn't it? Because now it's like we moved from people saying like, yeah, I think Toho Girl has a chance in Smash, to now just like, what's the most random like 2:00 in the morning Nicktoons Network show I can think of? Oh, Edgar and Ellen. I bet they're gonna be in Nicktoons All-Star Brawl.
Dude, I swear, Papa
Tron.
Gino's had a video that went over it, and he talked about Keenan and Kel at length.
fellas, I feel like we're missing the writing on the wall. We need to get my man Jimmy Neutron in here.
Well, what I was gonna say is, I think somebody said Angry Beavers. I think Angry Beavers, Rocco, Jimmy Neutron, and yes, and Fairly Odd Parents. I think are kind of the big ones that I can see that aren't there yet.
Well, I'm kind of contentious about the Fairly Odd Parents because there's going to be a reboot on Paramount Plus. So would they?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
fuck
here's
me.
here's the thing.
Ugh.
I've heard bits and pieces about it, and apparently it's not going to have Tinny, and I'm not sure how to feel about that. So if they wanted to put a Fairly Odd Parents rep, would they put in Tinny because he is essentially the face of the series? Or would they put in like Cosmo and Wanda as like a
I think
an ice
Cosmo and
climber?
Wanda work better.
Yeah.
There's a lot they could do. Also, did you know that
I mean-
that if you want to get technical, Paramount owns like the Fleischer animations. We could have Mighty Mouse in there. Why not,
Ooh,
man?
That's kind
We-
of cool.
They own Garfield. Like Garfield,
Yeah, Garfield.
Garfield would be great. Yeah, there's a lot.
Assist. Nerm. Oh my God, Garfield is just rich for assists. Odie.
Yes.
John. Nermal. The fucking mouse from the really weird French cartoon.
God,
We-
I would
Right.
absolutely main Garfield.
I would love that. Oh my God, you can.
They should just hear my version of Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl would just be the cast of Angry Beavers, the cast of Rocko's Modern Life, and Garfield. That's it. That's the whole roster.
Wait,
It's just those three things and nothing else.
Somebody said Betty Boop. They do own Betty Boop.
Yeah, that is a Fleischer cartoon.
Yeah.
Wait, did Static Shock air on Nickelodeon, or is that somewhere else?
That was Cartoon Network, and also it's a WB property because it's a DC comic book.
Oh, I see. My bad.
Yeah.
But that would be pretty cool if you.
Yeah.
But whatever. What other
No,
superhero?
Viacom and Nickelodeon.
Ooh,
Viacom and Nickelodeon straight up own Garfield now, like the entire property.
Man.
Yeah, they just bought it. They're all like,
Yeah,
"Oh, why
Jim
not?"
Davis just sold it to Nickelodeon.
Yeah, the
Fucking
same way they
weird.
did the same thing that they did with Peter Laird and Ninja Turtles. They're all like, "Hey, here's one of the longest running indie properties in the world. You want a couple $1 million?" And they're like, "Sure, man. I'm not doing anything with it anymore. I'm done. Tired."
$1 million.
Yeah, no, I'm excited about it. I think it has potential, and I've seen so many takes that are all like, "Oh, this is gonna kill Smash." It won't. Smash.
No.
No.
Smash is a juggernaut. But and I also see a lot of people are like, "Oh, people are so tired of Smash because the DLC sucks." I'm like, no, listen. The reason people are excited about I'm way more excited about this than I am about talking about anything with Smash Brothers. But the reason for that isn't because I like Nickelodeon more than Smash, or because there's too many JRPG characters as DLC, or anything like that. It's because I've been talking about Smash for like 10 years straight.
Yeah, now we're just talking about like an entirely different like group of characters and licenses. Like it's like not even remotely the same thing.
Yeah.
It's relatively fresh. Asterisk.
Yeah.
Asterisk.
You know what else
No,
was a
you're
Nickelodeon?
moved,
You know,
SpongeBob.
You know, it was a Nickelodeon film, Rango. Rango for
Rango?
Nickelodeon. Yeah,
Oh my god. I love Rango. Oh my god.
it was a Nickelodeon film, man. It would be like that would be an amazing stage character, everything.
Oh, like, and he could like act kind of like what is a good archetype? Honestly, kind of like a zero suit Western zero suit Samus. Use the gun, use the whip.
I feel like
No,
we
not
still don't
the
have
lasso.
we still don't have a Fox type character, so you can just
Yeah. Tommy Pickles is Fox.
Oh, it's like
Cat
him with
dog.
the
Cat
the
dog?
cowboy
Cat
thing.
dog. Cat dog.
yeah, Doug.
Cat dog. I mean, like, honestly, I could see them acting kind of like a mix between Fox and Pac-Man for some reason. I
Yeah,
don't know
like a little
why.
bit of a trap character. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do that.
Yeah.
I feel
Still
kind of
hope-
bad because like with you got to think how many of the people memeing about the game are actually going to buy it. I think that is like the
I'm not
thing.
gonna buy it, unfortunately.
That's like the thing that like is kind of unfortunate because like as much as I think the idea of the game is like definitely like worth an eye roll, the actual like context behind it is like really fucking cool. The fact that Nickelodeon approached like not just like some random THQ offshoot. They went to a dev of a Smash clone and went, "Hey, make us a competitively viable Smash clone with our licenses." And that's cool as shit. That's like genuinely really fucking cool.
Yeah.
The execution of it looks really good too. And actually, there was an interview with who are the Slap City devs? I don't remember their name anymore. Somebody give me their name. Chat,
Isn't it like
help me out.
Ludiosity or something?
Ludosity, yeah. Ludosity, something like that.
yeah.
Yeah. They said that like Nickelodeon was very hands off with it. They're all like, you can add whoever you want, whatever, just make it good. So that also could actually probably explain the roster a little bit because there are probably a bunch of dudes in their 30s that are making this roster that are all like, well, powdered toast man. Yeah, but so like, yeah, man, like I don't know, I think it'll sell if it's good. I think there's always, especially with SpongeBob, who's a Mario of the game, there are SpongeBob fans that will buy anything, which I think
right,
probably push it to on all platforms like 1 to 2 million sold. But if it's very good, and then we start seeing people stream it and play it competitively or things like that, then I mean, it could do very well, especially because there isn't a good high polished like platform fighter on that anything except
Smash.
For the Switch.
Yeah.
Like, because you look at stuff like first of all, like I love Rivals. And I think Slap City is pretty good. But look at this and look at that, and I love sprite artwork too. But one of them looks indie, and one of them looks like maybe not AAA, but closer. Like the graphics and the animations and stuff all look great.
Jimbo. Now you're gonna get 0 to death. Woo-hoo.
I actually kind of hope like they don't do like a lot of meme pics because that would be so. So passe. It'd be so fucking boring.
Honestly, the only reason I would want Hugh Neutron is because he's just so zany and wacky. They could really lean into that because like he loves ducks, he loves pie.
Yeah, but that's every Nickelodeon cartoon dad.
Well, yeah,
that's also Stu Pickles, Timmy's dad, fucking Nigel Thornberry, who's in the game.
Well, okay, but Nigel Thornberry kind of terrifies me. He genuinely scared me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So would you rather have Timmy Turner's dad? I can't even remember his name.
No, his name is literally just Timmy's dad. Like he doesn't have a name.
Okay, cool. Or my man Hugh Neutron.
Hey, did you know? You know how there was like 10,000 Land Before Time movies?
Yeah.
Did you know that the canon name of Sarah, the Triceratops' dad, her dad's name is Daddy Tops? I just thought that was something to share. No, it's literally go to the Land Before Time wiki. It's Daddy Tops. That's his name.
I hate that. I really hate that.
And now you'll have to live with that knowledge for the rest of your life.
You have ruined me.
Red Jack said there are Invader Zim fans like that too. Yeah, no. Invader Zim fans are starving and will buy anything that has Invader Zim in it. But the difference is that that for every one Invader Zim fan, there are 10,000 SpongeBob fans.
I remember being like a youngin' and Invader Zim fans were like, "Oh, we have it so bad. Our show was canceled." And I'm like, "You guys get like 16 fucking DVD releases of this show every day. Meanwhile, I still can't watch Angry Beavers when I want. This is fucking bullshit. That show was like 4 seasons long. Took them forever to make a DVD of that show. God damn.
I actually haven't watched Angry Beavers. I know one of the people that work for me are, I think, spearheading an Angry Beavers reanimated project.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
I could send you the link to that because it's not complete, but it's like it's going on. It's happening.
Angry Beavers is the thinking man's Nickelodeon show. Like it's
Gotcha.
So here's a question.
It's very dry. Like it's.
This is called. It's called what? Nickelodeon All-Star
Brawl.
All-Star Brawl. So it's not called Nicktoon All-Star Brawl.
Yeah, it's Nickelodeon. Yeah, I want to see Carly Shay from iCarly in here. Or my man Gibby. Let's put my man Gibby into Brawl.
Yeah, it's a brawl. That's another thing I like whenever people make Smash likes, they use the word brawl or melee in it, just like for funsies.
Yeah, just put him in fight. Put him in
so I'm wondering is I don't think we'll have any Nick Jr. stuff because I think that would be, they don't want to associate those brands with violence. So stuff like Dora, or Blue's Clues or Eureka's Castle or Paw Patrol or whatever. I feel like it's kind of
Paw Patrol. But like the Wonder Pets, that would be so cool.
I do think it would be really cool to get stages based off of some of those old Nick TV shows. Like you have like the Aggro Crag, you get like your Double Dare and like Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Yes,
and stuff like that.
Yes, thank you. You are. And I kid you not, I've been on the internet for I want to say 10 years now. You are the first person who has ever mentioned Legends of the Hidden Temple in my presence. I loved Legends of the Hidden Temple. I got Verve to watch Legends of the Hidden Temple. It didn't let me watch it. I canceled my subscription. I've been looking everywhere to find episodes of Legends of the Hidden Temple. Do you know where I can watch it again? I just
there's some episodes that are just randomly like on YouTube or Vimeo or stuff, but I don't know if you can find it anywhere. Although I would imagine it's probably on Paramount Plus now. But that seems like the sort of content they would just shove on there because they need content.
Was my fucking childhood,
man.
Nick Gas.
I used to have Blue Barracuda's shirt. I used to wear all the time.
I was always I think Silver Monkeys. That
Silver Monkey. No, it's silver. It's I just pulled it up. Green Monkeys, Silver Snakes.
Silver Snakes. That was my guy.
Snakes. Yeah.
Silver Snakes.
Red Jaguars. Yeah. But I think it'd be cool if they did that. I think they actually said it was only 20 stages in one of the releases. I would.
Alpharad mentions Legends of the Hidden Temple. Alpharad mentions Legend of the Hidden Temple all the time.
Wow, we have so much in common. I too watch Legends of the Hidden Temple. Let's play video games together.
Honestly, I would love to play Among Us with Alpharad. that would honestly be pretty fucking neat. But whatever.
Yeah, get on it. Everybody go tell Alpharad we want to play
get
Among Us with
bring Toxiquid on Among Us episode.
Yeah.
No, that will never happen. If that does happen,
Phantom
that
can be on that one.
Fucking neat.
But yeah, man, like there's a lot of cool stuff. Going back to the Ninja Turtles, they seem to have the most stage presence.
Yeah.
By that I mean like stages representation, I guess is a better term.
Right.
Because it looks like they have 3 stages in the game.
Mm.
The sewers, the rooftop, and the Technodrome. The Technodrome makes me think that Shredder's going to get in as well as a playable character.
Like the
But
Bowser of the game.
yeah, well, we don't have any villains, really.
Yeah.
You know, in some ways, some characters you might consider villains, but I'm also
like
very
Nigel
excited.
Thornberry, who scares the ever-loving shit out of me. That's pretty villainous.
Yeah, I wonder what we're gonna see as far as
I wonder if
total
they actually
roster
got
representation.
Tim Curry to
Well, Tim Curry's semi-retired now because of health issues.
of his stroke. Yeah.
So I
Continue
would
with
imagine actually, Colin, that they're just gonna reuse voice clips for everyone.
Oh,
Denzel Crocker.
Did I,
I mean,
Spazzy? Did I tell you about how they put John McClane into Warzone, and they from Die Hard, and they just like recycled voice lines that are like digitally extracted from the movies. So you'll just like get a kill, and he'll be like, "Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker!" It's like it's so bad.
Hold on. No, not Meezer. Cody Pettit asks in chat, Zim is kind of a villain?
That's exactly who I was thinking of when I said there's some people that are kind of a villain. Actually,
Yeah.
that was 100% who I was thinking of.
But
Alpha Red wants to create his own Legends of the Hidden Temple. Isn't that just like Takeshi's Castle? Like,
yeah, no, it's Takeshi's Castle, but Nick Gas, so it's
Nick
automatically.
It has like first of all, it has
Aztec
theme. Number 1, number 2, there's definitely a game show portion of it to start off with. That's just like random knowledge, and then
I remember.
So it's a little bit different because I don't think there actually is a show that has like physical like competition
violence
mixed with like any sort of mental. Yeah.
Well, I guess
honestly, the only one that I can really think about, the only one that pops into my mind is Total Drama Island. But even then, that's an entirely different can of worms.
And that's Cartoon Network.
Yeah, hence the entirely different.
Well, actually, a lot of those like Cartoon Network shows are like technically like syndicated from Canadian broadcasting. I think that's why like Ed and Eddie weren't in the Cartoon Network Smash clone, because Cartoon Network technically, like, it's not their show. It's like someone else's show that they have.
Damn. That sucks.
It does suck. It's like it's the best fucking show.
All right.
We can kind of move on from from this, because I think actually I will try to do at some point some sort of video for Source Gaming with anyone else on staff that's interested, just for fun, to do like
we could literally just talk about Nickelodeon shows for an hour and it wouldn't be any different.
100%.
Yeah.
That being said, there was another piece of news this week that made a bunch of people go, "Oh, Nintendo-doomed," because we go through this every fucking week.
Yeah.
And that was Valve announcing the Steam Deck, which is a handheld gaming PC. They announced it, and then they said that they opened reservations for it up the very next day.
And it already sold out.
No, it's not. It's actually the way they're doing it is actually kind of interesting. I believe it's still up for reservation. The idea, this is what they're doing. It's depending on how late in the day you pre-ordered, the order availability shifted back. So for example, right now on the Steam Deck website, like anyone who like the last kind of like wave of people who pre-ordered it, they're expected to get their orders like Q3 2022. And I think that's a pretty cool way of doing it, especially because like you didn't like pay in full. You're just putting like $5.
Oh yeah, like a down deposit.
Yeah. I'm like very, very, very down for it. I think it's like a very
We we had we had
neato
some
concept.
conversations about it. Yeah, we had. I wish we had almost saved some of that conversation for today that we were having in voice chat, because I think we had some good points that were brought up.
No, I mean
Um,
like it's very easy to reiterate them. I mean like I'm stoked for this.
I think it's
Because
very cool. Yeah.
yeah, because um outside of being a Nintendo gamer, I like I've been a PC gamer for ever, forever, ever since I played games on PC when I was like a littlein, and then I got my own computer, and then like it really took off. Like I've always had some Windows based PC to play video games on,
Yeah.
and um I've always enjoyed my portability. I've always liked laptops, and I mean, of course, like the main inspiration for this thing, I mean, most people would say it's the Switch, which I mean, there's a little bit of that there, but it's also the fact that we've also had all of these like Chinese handheld mini PC
Yeah,
things, like the
completely stuff.
GPD Win and the
Yeah.
Aya Neo, and I think it's really, really fucking cool that there is that like a big company is actually taking a step forward and doing their own, and
There
that
is still, and I think as big gaming nerds, I don't think we always realize this, but there's still a stigma that has yet to be overcome towards PC gaming.
yeah,
There, for as much as the PlayStation and the Xbox have become basically just computers that you with their dedicated OS and software
Yeah.
libraries, there's still a difference in the mind of the average person of buying a console and hooking it up to your TV and then setting a computer up and getting this and getting that and doing all this stuff. It's very easy now in practice, but just in principle, I feel like there's a barrier of entry that people don't understand, and that people don't want to face, I guess, is a better way to
honestly,
talk
that
about it.
that is like the thing that I am like stoked about this thing
Yeah.
so much. Like, it's not just the fact that it's like, oh, it's like a PC and a Switch form factor. It's the fact that it's like Valve is positioning this as a $400
Gaming PC. Yeah.
console user friendly gaming PC,
With a
which
dock
which
that you can
has
put onto your TV in the living room.
which like really hasn't been done, or at least has not
Yeah.
been done in a way that uh is like super straightforward, because even
Yeah.
companies like Razer, who have tried to make like very simple, like Apple elegant gaming laptops, like they're all still like $2,000. Like it's
And
still
this is something that I put a tweet out about this earlier today, that people keep comparing it to the Switch, and with very good reason. Nintendo doesn't have any real competition in the handheld space, and the form factor suggests that this is a handheld. There's even a dock. So yeah, of
yeah.
course, their first comparison is going to be to the Switch. But I think people are underestimating how big of a disruptor this is to the overall console space, which includes Xbox and PlayStation. And I know people are saying, well, it's not really as powerful as like a PS5 or an Xbox. That's true. However, couple things. Number one, this is an entire PC ecosystem for that's easy to access for $400. That you can play on your TV easily. This gives people access and familiarity with PC gaming.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of a Trojan horse to get people into that ecosystem. And once you're there, you notice games are cheaper than on PlayStation and then on Xbox. And because this isn't a locked console, there's not an operating system that they have to worry about like any of the big three. That means every year or two they can just upgrade this and release a new upgrade that's more powerful. And eventually it will be more powerful than the current gen consoles, because it'll be more like having an iPhone or something, because it's still going to be compatible with everything, because it's still going to be based off of the same architecture. So it's like an entirely new paradigm shift if this is successful.
Now,
Like this is,
someone
you know,
earlier in chat said Steam Deck is going to fail, which look at the leaked sales data. No. But then they said, remember Steam machines. And I feel like it's like this is like the sequel to the Steam Machine. Like this is like I think people forget when they make fun of like the Steam controller and the Steam Machine and on like the Steam Link and all that stuff, is that like Valve went back and they, like, even though those products don't necessarily exist anymore, they have continued to work on them and update them and develop them. Like, there are still updates for the Steam Link. There are still, I mean, the Steam Machine, the only reason the Steam Machine failed is because they weren't able to do what they're doing with the Steam Deck, which is have their own hardware. They had to license it out to Origin PC and Alienware and fucking whoever else, and of course, you know, that means they like, you know, they have to make their own enclosures, and then you have to license tech from Intel and Nvidia, and they ended up costing too much for what was supposed to be very straightforward budget PCs. This time, Valve is wholly controlling the whole thing, and it's so funny. People are like, oh, remember Steam machines? Remember the Valve Index? The thing that is selling out constantly, that Valve makes themselves, and is like held up as being the best VR headset on the market.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where, like, this is like a huge innovation because it's a company coming forward with their own not only with their own ecosystem, not only with their own software, but with their own hardware attached to it, which is also why they're able to sell it at a lower price, which is, you know, love them or hate them. That's how Apple has stayed so strong over the years, because they've done everything locked down.
Yeah.
It's their software, it's their hardware. They can do whatever the hell they want.
Right. I think having a more open operating system, more open, like, it's funny you bring up Apple. I've always enjoyed Android more because it's just been more open, but Apple's success is because of it's been kind of locked down.
Yeah.
But you know, the funny part is this offers both, because apparently it has a very fast, sleek operating system that's very good to
it's
use
just Linux
with a controller. Yeah. But at the same time, you can install Windows, which means that this is a Game Pass machine too. People haven't talked about
it also
this,
means it's a Fortnite machine too.
Yeah, of course, it's the best way to play Fortnite portably now. But but like, yeah, you can.
Wait. Why would it be the best way to play Fortnite now? Isn't that Epic?
Portably. I said it's the best way to play.
Well,
portably.
because you could just put, like, install the Epic Game Store on it.
Yeah, you can install Windows on this. That's what I'm saying. You install Windows, and then if you have Game Pass for your PC, you have all of your Game Pass games. Like, that's an insane value.
That's crazy. That's actually super crazy.
You can also install a bunch of emulators if you want, and you can play things like Chrono Trigger right now for $8 off of the Steam store, which people are asking for, or those Final Fantasy Pixel Perfect remasters. Hey, now, you know, there's going to be things that you can play on here that you're not going to. That's the thing. I already have a gigantic Steam library, and the fact that, and talking about this as a portable now, my two biggest concerns are battery life, and I know, like, the reports are that it's actually pretty good, but I don't know. I'm not going to believe it until I actually get my hands on it or see, like, some Digital Foundry breakdowns or something. Number two is the amount of memory, and I understand that you can use an SD card. But this isn't a Switch. You're not going to be playing anything off of a cartridge. Everything is going to be digital. And modern games are huge.
Yeah, they're massive.
They're huge. And the thing is, when they put them on Switch, they optimize them. On PC, games are not optimized because it's a PC. So with 64 gigabytes, if you want to play, like, I don't know, man. I feel like you're going to be playing.
The 64 gig one is just like an indie machine. Or just a decent emulation machine. Like, you would need to get the 256 or the most popular one, the 512 one. Though it should be noted that the hard drive, the little the solid state drive that's in the system is not, like, soldered in any way. It's non-replaceable in the fact that you have to open up the console to swap out the internal storage, but according to Gabe himself and the Valve, like, the Valve deck page itself, it straight up says, like, yeah, like, it's just a standard NVMe socket. so you would be able to probably just grab NVMe. If you once they release the iFixit teardown guide, and they have a little guide on how to plop in like a standard 1 terabyte off the shelf from Best Buy, like you'll be good to go. I'm buying the 256 one just for that reason alone.
Yeah, I'm some things that I think are pretty cool about it are I really like those touchpads. I think because there's so many input options on this.
Yeah.
You have the joysticks, the D-pad, you have the buttons on the back that are programmable.
I love the trackpad. I feel like people really hated the trackpads on the Steam controller because they're so not like anything else. But
that's my biggest thing.
They are genuinely like great. Like they are genuinely fantastic. Like for something that uses a cursor, like not even just for like point and clicking or just strategy games, but even just browsing a desktop, like that little little trackpad is perfect because it almost works more like a flat
mouse.
No, not like it is a mouse, but trackball. It almost works like it has like haptic feedback and like momentum to your scrolls and everything. Yeah, it feels really good to use.
I'm really looking forward to having a portable system that I can play like RTS games on and play like point and click adventure games, and just there's some genres that like, and I know some people enjoy that for shooters and stuff, but there's some genres that like just in general I'm all like, I don't know, they feel really weird when you're trying to play it without a mouse,
Yeah. And it's like and for people who like emulation, for people who want to load Dolphin onto this thing, it'll mean that changing your settings and everything will be perfect. But also, and this is a thing I've seen like very little people talk about the Steam controller in regards to, and I've always been a fan of. Hey, what can emulate motion control better than a mouse that also has 1-to-1 pointing controls?
That is true.
If you play Mario Galaxy with the Steam controller and you map the you basically just say, yeah, I'm using a mouse, but you're using like the Steam controller's trackpad, the pointer, like the star pointer, feels fucking incredible. It feels so good.
I feel like it would just take a little bit to get used to, because honestly, looking at the Steam Deck's layout of controller, like how it looks, I feel
it looks really weird, but like if you hold your hands out with like your thumbs up, like the way you're going to be playing these things, and you kind of just like windshield wiper, like rock your thumbs back and forth, like all of a sudden it seems pretty obvious how this thing is going to like handle, which is like not too bad. I mean, like that's basically what they're doing. Instead of having your thumbs move up and down, it's moving left and right.
Yeah,
that's really the major difference compared to like other controllers.
It just feels so weird to me, and not gonna lie, because like the buttons and then the joysticks feel so weirdly spaced and so high up.
They do, but the thing is, I don't want to judge that until I play it, because sometimes things look weird, but you don't really know until you play it. I definitely want to get my hands on, but the D-pad in particular looks a little weird, but like it might, like with the location, it's probably okay,
Right.
Yeah.
Remember what, Colin?
No, I was gonna say, remember the Circle Pad Pro, and everyone's like, that thing's gonna be uncomfortable as fuck, and then it was like, oh, it's actually really nice.
Not too bad.
One thing I'll say about that too is the matched up sticks on the top for the Wii U or something that people were like, but I actually really liked them. I thought
I also really liked them.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people on Twitter, and I've seen a lot of people, I've seen a couple people in this chat saying like, oh, this is going to make great competition for the Switch. First off, no, it's like the Switch.
We're fans of this, so we're not undercutting.
Yeah,
this,
no, like
it's a different market.
the Switch is like has sold like almost 90 million units and is like 5 years old. I don't think there's any pressure on Nintendo at all. I know the big meme is like, and we were talking about this last week, we gotta get a Pro model out. One, no, they don't. But also B, like, they'll probably just release a new console in the next 2 to 3 years anyway. It doesn't really matter.
I remember like a quote from like, I want to say Kirishima, when he was still president that they wanted the Switch to last like 7 to 10 years.
Yeah.
So we're at that halfway point now. So I don't doubt that they'll at least
Yeah,
do something new soon.
yeah. That's the thing, is that people are ragging on the Switch specs compared to this. Number one, Nintendo works on a different model anyways, so they generally don't go cutting edge because they want to turn a profit on their hardware, which they need to do because they are a much smaller company than Sony or Microsoft or even Valve. To be honest with you, they're not a huge company. So
Yeah.
that's just their business model. But number two, the Switch is like almost 5 years old, man. Like, of course that technology is old. You think if the Switch came out today, it wouldn't be more comparable to what this machine is? Maybe not exactly these specs, but like it would be closer. That's for sure. Also, I heard some people being like, you could just emulate Switch games on this. So I was going to ask you, Colin. I'm all like, with these specs, do you think that they could actually competently emulate Switch games? I don't know, because I haven't tried any Switch.
More or less, but I think it would be kind of a waste. Like, you wouldn't really be getting like a better experience.
Yeah.
You would probably be running it like at Switch spec anyway, and as far as I know of those Switch emulators, they're like there's like 4 games that work well. So I don't know, like.
And no. I was just curious. I haven't looked into the state of Switch emulation because I own a Switch and I don't care.
I guarantee the majority of people who say that shit are gonna be like not gonna go through the effort of doing it. It's like when 3D All Stars came out and everyone's like, "Oh, I'll just emulate Sunshine on Dolphin," and then they just didn't. Like, no, like all these people will be like, "I'm gonna emulate," and then they don't actually have the balls to do so, and then they get all weird when I talk about physical copies being dumb and bad. I don't know. Like,
I agree.
Weird.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna buy this.
Me too.
It's tempting. It's
But also, if you're gonna really like spend like $600 to emulate Switch games, then what the fuck are you doing? It's like this thing's gonna have so many. Like, the thing that I'm most excited about for this device is not like, oh, I can play any PC game. It is that. It's the fact that there are so many older and more obscure PC games that will most likely never come to console due to things like mod support or just being like a generally niche release. And I think that's way more interesting than just like, yeah, I can emulate a game on a console I already own and I've already played. Like, I'm excited to play Outrun 2006 on this fucking thing because I have the PC version of Outrun 2006 and I will absolutely install it onto this thing and play it.
That's being said mostly, Colin, by people that are like, this is such a Switch killer, there's no reason to own a Switch. I was just wondering about the feasibility of it because I think it's just a stupid thing to say. I don't agree with it at all. But I was saying before that I think I may eventually buy this. But right now, I have a gaming PC, so it's not like there's any games this will give me access to that I can't already play, number one. Number two, all of my portable gaming needs are being met by the Switch. I'm never like, oh man, I wish I had a different game I could play portably whenever I'm on a flight or in bed or doing whatever. So this is like a neat thing that I don't need. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Portal 2 on the go.
Hell yeah. See, my thing is
it's more I think it's more tempting for me personally than like a PS5 is.
Yeah.
Which is funny because
absolutely.
once again everybody compares this to the fucking Switch, but like it's still just like console like gaming dollars. And so for me, I'm all like, well, if my next purchase, I already own a fucking Switch. My next purchase is going to be maybe a PS5. Probably this thing. Also, I just checked. I have 350 games, 352 games on Steam.
Jesus.
I would actually say if there's one console this thing actually I think would put a fire under its ass, I think it's the Xbox Series S.
Series X. I think so too.
I think it's the Series S because it's $100 more, but like it's its versatility is like a lot more interesting than just having a giant box that only plays digital games. Like I'd rather have a like if the idea is that I'm buying a smaller box that's a little less capable than the big 4K Zooey Mama consoles, like I'd rather buy the one that's like has a lot more versatility, has a lot more things going for it, has a lot more software support, has a lot more like all of those things. That being said, I'm also an enthusiast, so I could be wrong on that, but because I think like the crucial thing most people are missing here is that like obviously this thing isn't like I don't think Valve is gearing up to make millions of these things.
Right.
But
if it does well, who knows?
but even yeah, exactly. But like even like the potential I think is there because this is like as I said,
this is the best, the most exciting thing that I think Valve has come out with hardware wise. And I say this as somebody that really liked the Steam Link. That thing was cool.
I don't wait, hang on. I just got to reply to someone in chat because Cyber says the 400 model feels kind of impractical. Only 64 gigabytes of slow storage. It's eMMC storage. It's the same storage on like the Switch and iPhones and most mobile phones. It's not. It's gonna be fine. It's not like fucking SSDs have like rot everyone's brain to make it think like, oh man, these 3-second load times are gonna ruin all of my games. It's like more than enough. It's like it's still. If they really wanted to do something bad, they'd go back to like the old like iPod like spinning hard drives, like the little mini hard drives. Like it's not. Don't.
Yeah, I think this would be very cool. Also, like I said, I've got a huge Steam backlog that I never play those games, so it'd be fun to play those games on the go and put a small dent in that backlog. More to your point, I don't think this is. I mean, the best case scenario, it does light some sort of fire under Nintendo's ass to help them improve their upcoming hardware even more. But people, buy Nintendo games for the IP, and maybe you can emulate some of them, but your average consumer is not going to do that. Little Timmy isn't going to ask for this for Christmas. He's going to ask for a Switch to play Metroid and Zelda and Animal Crossing and Smash and Mario Kart and whatever. That's what sells the Switch.
Little Timmy's pretty based if he wants to play Metroid on the Switch.
Man, I'm telling you, man, with Metroid Dread, that's the only reason I brought it out, because that's going to be a big holiday push title.
Yeah.
So yeah, like that's what sells. It's already sold like 90 million units. And Nintendo has the price advantage on this, not only for the 400 model, but they have a $200 model of the Switch out. That's
right. Yeah.
People keep forgetting that because they keep talking about everything else, but Nintendo has the lowest barrier to entry of any modern console by a good margin. And here's the thing, they have room to price drop that. Like when things get a little bit, when sales drop for Nintendo, which they haven't peaked yet, but when they drop, boom, $150 light, $250 base model, $200 base model. Like that, they will continue to sell this, especially because Nintendo handhelds have a long tail end, and so far, I feel like this has been selling more like a home console. But once it gets past that bump and starts selling like a handheld, that's it. Sorry,
I also agree with what Awdoodle is saying. I really want to see if they do make a kind of set-top box version of the Steam Deck. Like, I really want to see if they just make one that's like a PS TV, where it's just the guts of the machine and like a box you can just plug into a monitor, and it just becomes a really, really slim, like a thin PC, or just like something kind of like the Atari VCS, just something you can plug into your TV regardless. Because I think that has a lot of potential too, especially if
and that would be cheaper.
You get rid of all of the like the screen and like stuff like the battery, and then, yeah, exactly, it's cheaper. You could make it like $200 or $300, and even I mean like at that point, then you are going up against like micro PCs that have similar specs like the Latte Panda, and that's like perfect. I think that's the other thing that people I know we're like, this is like going back in the conversation a bit, but regarding like the hardware and the power of all this stuff, I feel like people don't realize that like mobile hardware has advanced so much and so quickly uh in the last few years. Like in the last decade alone, we've gone from like, what the Vita is capable to this thing, which is a massive fucking jump. It's a ridiculously massive jump.
Skycatcher Gaming just said that he got it for his daughter so that she can play Genshin Mobile because the cell phone sucks. You're a great parent, Skycatcher.
Yeah. But like, so it's one of those things where of course we can sit around and say like, oh, the Switch outdated, underpowered, but like for 2015, 2016, 2017, like the Tegra X1 was really good, and I would argue it still is. It's not, things have gotten better, but it still has a lot of horsepower behind it. And that being said, like the APU, the system on a chip being used by the Steam Deck, like you didn't see anything like this 4 or 5 years ago. Like that's the really important thing. Like APUs existed, but you didn't see this massive push for AMD and companies like Intel to actually push integrated mobile graphics as hard as they could. Most people agree like APUs were only like generally good at doing gaming stuff like maybe a couple years ago.
So two things real quick. One, Cyber said it'd go against the Series S in the chat, and it's true. If they did do just a version of this that was just like a box,
yeah,
it would go against the Series S 100%. That would be what its competition would be. Number two is the fact that I think this might actually help the Switch successor too. Because I feel like NVIDIA is going to feel like they need to kind of answer some of the chips that are coming out now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this is an AMD system on a chip, yeah?
Yeah. It's like a brand new one too. It's not. It's like a completely. Well, it's a custom one according to Valve, but like it's using tech that no other AMD APU they've released in the last few years uses. Because all of their previously released APUs, like the stuff, I know the Atari VCS uses like a Ryzen embedded, which only like a few things use. Stuff like the Latte Panda use like the 2200G, which uses like a it's like based on like the old like Vega graphics card system. Nerd shit, I know, but this one's based on RDNA 2, which is what the Xbox Series and PS5 are using. It's effectively a cut down SoC of the Xbox Series X chip.
Yeah.
So what do you think? So let's get back to that. What do you think that means for NVIDIA in the future for the Switch successor's possible specs? This is like the most speculatory thing that we have no real basis on.
Well, I mean, like the only thing we have for there is just the fact that we know that the next one they're using. Well, if I have to look up his name, but if that one NVIDIA insider can be trusted, they're going to be using an Ampere based Switch Tegra chip. Let's see, what's Ampere is the I don't want to say like, oh yeah, it's the latest one, and then it's not the latest one. But is it the latest one? I'm not caught up on my
You can play Skyrim on your Steam Deck.
Yes, you can.
Well, you can play Skyrim everywhere, so that's not really a
yeah. It's so the next chip they're using is Ampere based, which is based on it's the same architecture as NVIDIA's current 30 series cards, like the latest and greatest cards they put out. So yeah, like it will be comparable. It might even be a little better because it's NVIDIA, because I believe the difference between oh boy, how do I put this? Well, because it's like they're built kind of differently. Nvidia, like their Tegras are more GPU heavy than they are CPU heavy. Meanwhile, AMD basically goes for, well, they go for the APU side of things, where it's like it's using like a modern CPU, but like it has to like shove sort of an onboard graphics chip on it. I know this is all, someone's going to listen to this and be like, no, you're wrong, there's XYZ thing, but like I'm just trying to use layman terms to simplify this all. I think like it can be comparable. It should be comparable. It like, which one will be better, who knows? Like I'm sure we'll see like the Switch 2 maybe use a bit less RAM, but that's also because like optimization.
This thing uses like an insane amount of RAM.
It uses 16 gigs, which is the same as the new systems. It's even DDR5 like the PS5, which is, it's like nutty. But that's because this is definitely more an enthusiast machine. It needs all that overhead because games aren't being made or optimized specifically for this thing. They need as many frames as they possibly can on this like lower hardware.
And the Steam Linux-based OS, I'm sure, is very light. But if you're going to install Windows or anything else, it's gonna slow you down a lot.
Yeah.
But again, I think it's cool to have both. I think they both serve. They're vaguely similar products, but they serve fairly different uses. And I pre-ordered the OLED, and I put down a reservation for the Switch, the Steam Deck, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. I'm gonna buy both. I don't really give a shit.
Like, yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna play Zelda on the Switch OLED. I'm gonna play John Woo Presents Stranglehold on the Steam Deck, and there's nothing you can do about it.
You're absolutely correct.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like, I mean, I don't know. I think a lot of these console war things are just,
it is stupid.
By crazy.
I don't understand why we can't, like, this is the most excited I've been for two products that are like vaguely similar since like the DS and the PSP.
Wow. That was like, it's over a decade ago.
I'm holding a PSP right now. I'm kind of fucking
because
around
it's
cool.
really, no, but it's like, because it is that same general feeling of having like two things that are similar enough that you could, live with one or the other, but they have their own ecosystem and games and unique capabilities that owning both actually does seem pretty cool. It's not like the Xbox and PlayStation where you're literally just buying the same box with a different company branded on it. And it's not like the 3DS and the Vita where there was just this really, really lopsided, like, which is better, because, oh, Christ, the Vita is bad. But
it's funny because the Vita, like, hardware-wise, is so nice.
It's really nice, and once you homebrew it, it's like the best thing ever. But like,
but just like the pricing on it, the proprietary memory, the first-party support that died, like, it had so many issues.
This is like the first time, like, there are people who are like, I can't wait to buy the Steam Deck. I'm going to use it more for like than the Switch. That's fine. There are people who would just rather stick to the Switch. That's fine. I'm personally like really excited for both. One, because one is, I mean, like, oh, I already own a Switch and it's getting games, so I can't really say I'm excited for the Switch. There's just more games coming to a thing I own. That's not, that's cool. That's like how things should be. And then we have this like new exciting piece of hardware that does a bunch of shit that I previously couldn't, except unless I paid $800 for a kind of sketchy off-brand product, or if I just bought a fucking laptop.
Yeah, like I own a Series S, but like generally speaking, it's just because that was a good price point. Like eventually, I think the PS5 and the Xbox Series X are going to be great values because they're going to have built up enough of a library.
Oh, yeah.
But right now, it just feels like it's just playing slightly better versions of games I can already play on my PS4 and my Xbox One.
And it's like, I'm still getting,
a
Yeah,
gameplay experience. That's why it's exciting to me.
and it's kind of cool because I'm kind of looking forward to it because like I have a fairly old PC, not like old, but it's hitting like 6 years now, and it's been on like my checklist of things to do to update it, or upgrade it, or even just build a whole new machine entirely. But I still think the guts in it. I have like a Skylake i7. I have like a RTX 2070. I don't really think I need to upgrade it anytime soon. Like maybe swap out the hard drive, sure, but I don't want to have to put down, the $1,200 to $1,500 to build a new PC. Like I don't really want to do that. But the fact that there is a little thing that's coming out that's $400 that I can still play my entire library. I don't have to like buy the Xbox version of something, and I get all the cool shit like the SSD direct drive memory. I'm down. I'd rather that because like I can see myself for like the 1 to 2 next gen games that are gonna use stuff like the SSD and like and all that guff. Like I would rather just have a smaller, cheaper piece of hardware that can do it, that also completes the thought process I have in my head like most days of the week, where I'm like, man, I love playing video games on this PC, but I want to be in bed right now. So fuck
Yeah.
it. I'm super down for it. I genuinely think this is like one of the most exciting like tech products in a long while. I fucking love the Steam Link, man. I still use the Steam Link to play Clone Hero on my TV. Like I
Wow.
still use it. I have tweaked it to perfection so the input latency is like perfect.
That's crazy.
Because I don't feel like, because I have a LAN PC hooked up to my, this is the other cool thing. I literally built like a LAN PC to plug into my downstairs TV, like where I have all like my gaming consoles and everything. I don't need that fucking thing anymore. I can just have a dock and this thing. And you know what's cool? They said that any USB-C hub will work as a dock. The Skull and Co. Jump Gate, which is a third-party dock for the Switch, also works as a USB-C hub. I can use the same third-party dock I use for my Switch for the Steam Deck. I'm really stoked. Like, I think there's so much cool shit that can be done with this thing, and I'm genuinely excited. It probably won't be able to do VR stuff. It could. I wouldn't try it. I'm sure Low Spec Gamer will try. Will do a video on it, but I would. I think the CPU would be like a huge fucking bottleneck. You'd have to like kill the resolution on that. But yeah, I'm stoked. I'm really stoked for this thing.
Well, we're glad to hear it.
Yeah.
Clearly this is something that you're super passionate about. You would you consider yourself like more of a PC gamer or a console gamer?
I mean, as I've definitely been like a PC gamer for like
Right.
forever. Because I had like a PS1 and the PS2 growing up, but then I got a
Mhm.
laptop, and that changed everything.
Whoa.
That changed like just everything.
This game
Um,
console has keys.
yeah, ever since I got that copy of The Ship in 2006 for Steam, I've just been like, wow, this Steam thing is pretty cool. Um, but no, it's just also it just really is nice. It's nice that like I don't think, as I said before, I don't think this thing is going to be serious competition for like for anything, but it's definitely like a very well worth purchase unless it fucking explodes when you use it. Like that's unless the QA is really bad and the thing just snaps in two, like while you're in the middle of playing Metro Exodus or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, there are so many games I own on Steam. I think my library is like 1,100 games or something. Because I just, over the years, you just.
So many sales.
Yeah, no, exactly. Over the years, like, what is it? You can get Valve's entire back catalog for $13 during a sale. Like, it's fucking ridiculous.
That's the thing.
It's nuts.
I said I have like, I don't remember what I said anymore, but over 500 games. But like, I probably have spent, less than $200 on those games. Like, it's
Steam sales, Humble Bundles, Game Pass. Like, I end up having the same library of games on my Steam account or just on my PC in general that I would on a console regardless.
That's why I was saying that I think that if this acts as a Trojan horse to get more console gamers into PC gaming, in the long run, it can have a bigger effect on the ecosystem for Xbox and PlayStation than even it does for Nintendo. Because once people are ingrained in this, and they will PC game anywhere, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you have better control options and you have better prices. And you have a bigger library. There's no such thing as PC first party, but just the number of games is superior to anywhere else.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Including
it's so cool.
This is a handheld where you can play Sony first party games too.
Yeah.
Like Death Stranding.
Yeah.
And like Horizon Zero Dawn on your handheld.
Actually,
and you can play Halo on it. And
I was gonna say, Spazzy, I don't know if this thing will have like the general horsepower to emulate Switch perfectly or better, but our PC S3 is a thing. So you should be able to emulate all those PS3 games that are never coming to the PlayStation 4 or 5.
Yeah, this is it's gonna have better backwards compatibility than any non-Xbox console on the market.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I just think it's neat.
I think it is neat. It is really neat. I can't wait to only play Clone Hero on it. I can't wait to only play Fallout 76 on this thing. And it's the only game I play. No, don't say stop. I love that game. It's great.
Really?
It's so good.
One of the only people that loves that game.
Oh, I see.
No, like they've really like put down the effort to upgrade it and like update it and make it better and add new content and shit that people really want. It's like super worthwhile now.
Fair enough.
Especially because it goes on sale for like $13 and it's on Game Pass.
Yeah, that's
great.
Fair. I played it at a friend's house when it released, and I was
that's no good.
I remember saying, "Holy shit, this is the worst game I've ever played."
Yeah, no, it was super no good at launch, but a friend of mine gave it to me for free because it came with their Xbox. Like they gave it to me for free like a year after it came out. Once they started rolling out like stuff people really wanted in it, and I was like, "Huh, there's something there." And then like it just like kept getting better. No, I understand how it sounds when I say that, but you know what? Like I have that confidence to say, you know what? No, it's good now. I shouldn't have to put a fucking asterisk at the end of my sentences. I can be like, no, I'm sick and tired of hiding it. I really like Fallout 76 now.
Yeah, that's fair. It's a
good game.
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie.
All right, are we done talking about the Steam Deck? Which, yes, I agree, is kind of a bad.
I feel
game.
like we are.
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty much. We're at the 2-hour mark. We can just wrap things up now.
Wow, it's already been 2 hours.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
We spent like 50 minutes talking about Nickelodeon shit.
That is true.
That is true.
5 of those minutes was about Legends of the Hidden Temple, which I will never get off of that horse about. Never again.
It's a good show.
People know it.
I mean, Toxiquid, is there anything else you would like to bring up or mention that happened this week? Is there?
No, not particularly. I don't want to self-promote. So nothing.
Too bad. I'm Sean Evans. This is Hot One. This camera. Tell the audience what you're up to.
Okay, well, in that case, you better set aside 5 or so minutes because there's actually a lot going on.
Go for it.
Okay, so firstly, if you guys are familiar with my channel, I've basically for the first part of the year, I've been doing a quote unquote series where I take a character that people want in Smash and basically go all in, full stop. Moveset, spirits, stage, music, spirits, classic, everything. And I think you do the same thing on your channel. But the main difference is that I show fun little animations to coincide with everything. And one of the things that I said is that if every character in my little pass, because I separated all the characters into passes like the original game, if every video got over 10,000 views, I would do basically a little 4 character expansion that would come out once per month. And we finally hit that yesterday. So I have officially announced that the Toxiquid Fighters Pass 2 Plus, as it were, is now officially in development. So that's very nice.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that. We're going to be completely changing up the format because initially I had one big animated reveal trailer that took 8 months to make, revealing all 7 characters. I'm not doing that this time around. We're going to be basically taking a Sakurai presents Byleth approach to everything, where you don't know the character, and you don't know the character until the presentation actually starts,
Ooh.
and then we'll have like a little fun little animation that'll show who the character is, and I'm very excited to see that come into fruition. We've already started work on every single character in some capacity. I've already gotten the animators all set up, just like, hey, this is what we're doing. This is the time frame. Let's let's go. Let's jam, as it were. So yeah, there's that. As for future projects, in August, I'm going to be doing one of the most community-driven projects that I've ever conceived, and that is the "What If We Made a Pokemon Region" project. And it's exactly as it sounds like. I give you guys a
I like that.
right.
I like community driven projects because that means you have
Right.
to do less work, but it seems like
Right.
you're getting more
Yes.
engagement. That's
Thank you. Thank you. Finally, somebody understands the intent. Uh, but it's going to be a whole month-long thing where we really get into the spirit of things. Everybody can pitch in. Everybody can do whatever the hell they want. And it's just supposed to be a fun thing. And once everything is compiled together, maybe in like November, I'll put everything together in a traditional what if we made a oh because I've done this thing in the past before with a little series I called Toximon back in spanning from 2018 to 2020. So I am probably thinking like, hey, let's do that again, but with this thing in preparation for my next actual big region. But that'll be coming in 2022. So there's that. And then finally, the final video of the year is going to be an animated Pokemon Shining Pearl Nuzlocke, and that's been progressing smoothly. I'm very excited for you guys to see that. Imagine making a video, like a very in-depth video about a game before it releases. So that's going to
does
be
sound
coming to
fun.
right. It's very time intensive, very taxing, but you know what? It's fun. I'm very excited. Uh,
That does sound fun. By the way, I know that I saw several. It's not that I'm purposefully ignoring it. I know I saw several questions that were Smash related that were
yeah,
asked
I
during
also saw
this.
that.
It's and I mean, and we can take 5 minutes. I don't remember any of them anymore though, so
I
probably not.
remember one of them, and is that like, oh, who are your hopes for fighter number 11?
And the thing is, we talk about that all the time, and we had 2 topics this week, and I wanted to actually talk about those instead of saying, I don't know, man, Ryu Hayabusa, Banana Waddle Dee, whatever.
Hell yeah, Bandana D.
Since you're our guest, though, you can say, who do you want for Fighter Pass 11? We'll answer that one question.
Who do I want in Fire Pass 2?
No, for Smash, last Smash DLC, who do you want?
Honestly, I'm really leaning towards Eggman this time around. I really want Eggman,
Mhm.
but logically, I think it might be a Pokemon. unfortunately. I don't want it to be a Pokemon, but there's a big chance it might be.
I'm gonna go with Euden from Dragalia Lost because he seems, I say this every time, he seems like the correct amount of disappointment for the last DLC fighter. But everyone knows I'm a big Ryu Hayabusa Ninja Gaiden fan, so that's mine. So yay, we answered one Smash question.
Woo!
Hooray!
Yeah.
We did it. We met our quota.
Our quota, yeah. Not only did we answer one Smash question, but it's one that we've answered like 30 times already.
Well, unless we want to talk about Space Jam 2. That's what I thought.
I had some strong opinions on that.
Reddit player one.
Unless we have hard-hitting opinions on that, I think it is time to wrap this up.
Okay. Well, if you ever want to talk about Space Jam 2, I have some very strong opinions on that. Bring me in for that podcast.
We'll do it. Yeah, computer robots. It's fine. We're not upset at you for asking any questions. I think I was more just getting at that. Sometimes we don't have time, or it's not our topic, so we don't always get to answer your questions. Today wasn't a very Smash focused one, so
yeah.
And I am ready for Challenger Pack 11 whenever to answer that question.
Honestly, as long as it's none of the characters that I have planned, we'll be fine.
Yeah, even though it was funny, even though like I said, Hayabusa was my favorite, we were working on an all content that was coming out right after E3, and I'm like, oh man, I hope it's not him, because and all that work is for nothing.
Yeah. I was lucky enough to get the TFB2 out before E3 started, because like the final character of that pass was Sora. And not gonna lie, I was genuinely scared.
Nintendo was working on one for Tekken, so that did get kind of blown out of the water. But what are you gonna do?
Well, there you go.
And with that, we're gonna wrap this one up, fellas.
Wrap it up.
Thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Jacob Toxiquid, for that's your full name now. It's your birth name.
Oh man.
Sorry. Apologies to whatever your previous last name was or
don't
wasn't.
worry, I was in the middle of changing it anyways.
Thank you all for joining and watching us. Links down below to not only Toxiquid's Twitter and YouTube, but also to our Patreon, which you can always give us a few bucks if you want to help us out. It goes directly into the website and keeps us going. It's always nice and fun and cool and neato. And our Twitters are down below as well. Thanks for watching. And
Space Jam was never good, but the new one's just not good in a different way. Bye.
There you go.